This video is about miscarriages. Gosh, I feel a little bit emotional saying that. If you're watching this because that's just happened to you, oh, sorry, I still get emotional about it. Um, I'm really sorry that that's happening to you, and it fucking sucks. Um, that's all I can say. But this video is about it, and I mean, the bitch about it is there's not a lot of symptoms, but I had two of them last year. Um, this video is not going to talk about the management of them because they're going to be in separate videos, was a whole nother fucking rabbit hole for me. This is just about miscarriages. Um, and this was again one of those things that I could not find. There's just no like info on it. Like, why do some people keep getting them? Why do some people don't? Um, I'm sure there's people that are a lot worse out there that have had, three in a row or more, God forbid. But they're scary anyway. I don't need to tell you what it's about because if you've had one, you know how shit they suck. And normally you don't find out about them until you go in for your ultrasound. But there are some symptoms that maybe not everyone talks about because they're not, this miscarriages aren't that common. But because I had two, in the same year, which was last year, I kind of I had a symptom and then it happened again. I'm like, okay, I kind of knew the second time that I was having another one. Obviously the first time, it was my first pregnancy last year in March, and I was blissfully unaware that, you'd even have a miscarriage, never learn a miscarriage. I think I remembered saying to someone about getting blood tests, and I was like, what do I need them for? To test my HCG levels. I was like, well, I'll know if something goes wrong. No, I didn't. But the one symptom that I did have, obviously, I had absolutely no spotting, no bleeding for either of my miscarriages, or some people call them silent miscarriages. But what I did have was the first one. Um, I noticed. So I went in for my first ultrasound. I was actually about 9 weeks when I went in for my first one, but it has stopped growing at like 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. Like there was no heartbeat. Then they said come back in 10 days. Um, I was still holding on to hope back then because I didn't know. I thought, oh, maybe it's on that cutoff. I think it's like, don't quote me on this because it's been a year and a half since I looked it all up, but I think it was like five. There has to be the crown to rump CRM, crown rump measurement has to be a certain amount before they'll rule out its demise. Like it's not going to happen. I think it's like I want to say 5 millimeters or something. Anyway, mum was around the cusp, so they're like, come back in 10 days. Anyway, nothing happened. So I think it had stopped growing. But what I did notice, this was the symptom I was referring to, is that my sense, so I had a really strong sense of smell, um, really strong sense of smell, and a little bit of, like we all get it, I got a bit of nauseous, but it was the smell, right? So I think it was in between those 10 days. Um, when I was coming back for my second one, where they were going to say, yes, we're confirming it's not happening, or oh gosh, there's a heartbeat there now, because there wasn't on my first one. Anyway, but in between those two, so I waited the 10 days, and I think it was around the eighth day, so 2 days before my second ultrasound, I said to my partner, I was like, we were at a fair, and I was like, I don't feel pregnant anymore, and it was a sense of smell. It kind of just gone, like I just didn't feel pregnant anymore. Um, I mean, you know, I can probably say it was probably after, so I probably was like 10 weeks if it had been, a normal pregnancy. So it probably took about a month for the smell to drop off. But that's one thing. And I wasn't sure, but it was the second miscarriage when straight out of the gate that pregnancy was shaky. There was a heartbeat. Um, but it had the sac was small, which is I'll get into another video. So it was on my third ultrasound. I think I was like maybe 10 weeks, but the same thing again. So this time it was between the second and third ultrasound. So this was, I think, October last year. Um, the smell went, and I remember saying to my partner again, oh, I feel like I think I think I think it's the end. Like I feel like I can't that my sense of smell has dropped off. So not much of a comfort, but a bit of comfort. If you feel like a sense of smell or something just doesn't feel like it did a few weeks ago, that can be a symptom of a miscarriage. And I don't want to scare anyone, because in my third pregnancy, symptoms would drop off and I was like, oh fuck, like, oh my God, is it happening again? But I had it twice now. And the second time I was like, okay, this is the symptom. It's all I got. But at least it was some kind of indication of what was to come, which was horrible. But yeah. And like I said, there's no research on it. So when I was trying to look up, like, why do I keep having miscarriages? Like, what's wrong with me? Couldn't find anything. Um, and I think, and then I tried to research like how common they are, and it's kind of vague. Like, but I do know two other women that have had them. Like, I don't think it's extremely rare. It's not extremely rare. Like, it's maybe like a quarter or something of miscarriages are missed. But two in a row is a bit of a slap in the face. One's bad enough. But yeah, so I don't know. If you guys have any info and you know why some of us get miscarriages, why the body doesn't seem to recognize it, I would love to know. So please put it in the comments or something like that. And I'm sure other people watching this would love to know too. Because yeah, you would think that there would be some research on it, wouldn't you? Seeming it affects so many women, and so many women get pregnant. But anyway, maybe down the track. That's all I can think of with the miscarriage side of things. Yeah. I'm gonna leave everything else for separate videos so these don't go too long. Okay. And again, I'm so fucking sorry if you're watching this, because that's happened to you. It really does make me really upset that people go through this, because I know how much it sucks, and I just get emotional even talking about it. But you'll get through it, and don't lose faith. Do not lose hope. Okay? If you think you're meant to have kids and you've got this strong gut thing, you just keep going. That's what I had. I was like, it'll come back. I also, and this is getting a bit outside of what these videos are about, but like, when I had two last year, I was really fucking, especially the first one that hit me the most. I was really upset, but I just was like, they're coming back. Like, they're going to come back. I felt like they're going to come back. And I know that for some people that have these, or miscarriage, maybe they're of a certain age, they only were doing IVF, they only had one egg left, and I get that's not how it ended for them. But I always had the belief that they would come back. So listen to your gut. It might not be the be all and end all, that one miscarriage. Like, there's still hope that they can come back, and that's what I held on to. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I hope you recover okay, and I hope you have the support around you that you need to get through it. And all the best. Okay, that's it for this one.